Studio Series Voyager Cheetor was the first Rise of the Beast toy that I ever got my hands on and reviewed, and I was blown away by it. Not because of the toy itself, as much as the design. I love the toy itself, but the design for this Cheetor, I personally love. So you can imagine that I was very excited to hear that Yolopark was releasing an AMK figure of Cheetor from Rise of the Beasts. I love both of these figures, but when it comes to like just a fun action figure of this design of Cheetor, I'm definitely going to be picking this up a little bit more often than that. But this is still a great Cheetor. I love both of these. And I just wanted to do a quick comparison of them because, hey, one's the Studio Series Voyager and one is the Yolopark AMK. So, yeah, I got myself the Yolopark AMK Cheetor from Yolopark themselves. They sent me this as well as Scourge and the AMK miniseries for review, and I love them all. I'm not sure if I love Cheetor as much as Scourge because Scourge just has so much going on and it's amazing, but Cheetor does have some awesome elements that enhance another figure. So with the size comparison out of the way, I do want to get a couple more size comparisons out of the way because Cheetor obviously needs to report to his big bot. And we do have the AMK Optimus Primal from the first wave, so we can see, yeah, they look amazing together. I don't know what else to tell you. They look great. I'm really excited for Rhinox as well. I'm only assuming Rhinox got delayed a little bit, but I'm definitely going to make sure I get my hands on Rhinox as well. I think they'll look all great together. So there he is with his boss bot, his big bot. Here he is with OP Optimus Prime. I still love this figure, but his ankle joints are a little loose, just a little bit. So you can see Optimus Prime is very large and very cool. Definitely love it. Honestly, I'm very excited because I believe Rhinox comes with enhancement parts for this Optimus, but Cheetor comes with enhancement parts for another figure. And then, obviously, you got to compare it to Scourge, the massive AMK Scourge that I just reviewed. And yeah, Scourge is huge. Scourge is absolutely gigantic. And it's kind of crazy how these are the same price point. But honestly, given all the paint that Cheetor has, as well as the additional pieces he has for another figure, it really does balance out. It definitely does. This Cheetor is very nice. What else can I say? I will compare it to the other AMK figure as I get through the accessories. So accessories, what does he come with? So he has holding hands, obviously to hold his cool like spear weapon. And just like the Studio Series, the spear weapon can be split into two. It just kind of splits down the middle right there. And you can have, you know, the small one if you want. And you can have him hold it separate, and you can have him hold this separate. I kind of prefer it as just one big staff, but I also love the feature that you can have them separate. You do get holding hands for both sides, which is nice. And they can also double as fists, too. I think they're closed just enough. He does have expressive hands, and I love how each one has these nicely silver-painted claws. I think that is very, very fun. And then, again, you have left and right options for both of those. And you do also have more relaxed hands as well, with left and right that are just a little bit more, you know, drooped. They're not very expressive, and I think that's very nice. Because I feel like for Cheetor, he wouldn't really be having his fists a lot. He's a very fast and loose kind of character because he's a cheetah, you know. He's going to have his body posture not be super stiff. So I really like those inclusions for the accessories. I love the paint on this. Obviously, I do wish the paint continued a little bit more down the legs, but still just seeing all of this cheetah print on the torso and on the arms and on the head is very, very fun for me. Like I've said with the Studio Series, I love this design. I love the faceplate. I just love the overall look of it. It's just so cool. Now, this is a good time to bring in the box because this does show that Cheetor does have a mouth. I think it was briefly seen in the movie. I do kind of wish this model kit had like an interchangeable face with the mouth. I personally prefer it with the faceplate, but honestly, I think the mouth look does look pretty good. You can see the cheetah mode right there. This is kind of more based off of concept art, and I feel like the model kit is far more based on the actual movie. But overall, we can just see there's kind of the assembly right there looking pretty cool. Some more shots of Cheetor and a bit of a preview of the extra accessories we get. Overall, it's a nice box. Definitely a nice presentation. But I'm not really complaining that we just have the faceplate because I think it looks really cool. I love the massive shoulder pads. All of this silver paint mixed with the cheetah print. I love these little bits too because those can articulate Just kind of a separate little detail that fills out the shoulders. The chest has a lot going on. Again, I love the depth of the cheetah print. One thing I love about Yolopark AMK is that it's pretty much like an inner skeleton frame, and all of the colored armor bits are pieces that you attach on top. Some of them are already attached, but like the thighs you attach, those arm panels you attach. There's a lot of separate pieces you put on, including his butt plate. Just figured I'd point that out. His back, too, looks really cool. I love the fur detail, the little bit of silver, all the little details. These are model kits. You know, they're really easy to assemble, but still, I feel like they still really encourage, you know, bringing out the paints and making them even more detailed than they really are. He is just so impressive. I absolutely love it. Is this my favorite Yolopark AMK? Honestly, I still think Scourge takes the cake. I think Scourge is just super amazing, but I actually think this is my second favorite. I just love this design for Cheetor, and I think this figure captures it very well. And I wanted to emphasize again, the feeling of Yolopark AMK really reminds me of Robot Spirits from Bandai, and that is absolutely a positive thing. The quality of the plastic, all of the pins, the joints, it really reminds me of Robot Spirits, especially for the price. They are just so well articulated. I really can't get enough. I love the feet, too, the little claws. The claws are kind of sharp on the hands and the feet, so do keep that in mind if you're looking to kind of play with this or give it to your kids. It's a little on the sharp side. So his articulation, let's kind of go through that real quick. He has a ball joint as well as a hinge at the head, so you can get a lot of nice up motion right there. He's got tilts. He's got a neck joint as well. His collar is also on a slight ball joint to articulate that a little bit out of the way. The shoulder pads are on ball joints, and these little pieces are on swivels, so you can move the shoulders pretty far. I did just pop off the ball joint for the shoulder pad, but it usually doesn't pop off. It usually stays on pretty well. The shoulders also, oop, that's never happened. I just don't think I clicked it in all the way, because usually there's a bit of an audible click. Yeah, there we go. I just didn't click it in all the way. I definitely didn't click it in all the way. Oh my gosh, look at that difference. So, shoulders rotate. He's got bicep swivels. Very nice double jointed elbows. And there's a little bit of a piston action in there. You can kind of see it just a little bit. Ball joints at the wrists. He does have the swivel and hinge system at the torso per most AMKs. Swivel at the waist. His butt flap is on a ball joint and a hinge, which is very funny. He does have drop-down legs, again, but he also does have normal leg rotation, so you can get a lot of leg movement out of him, which is very nice, especially for a character as agile as Cheetor. You know, you want a lot of articulation with him. So, geez, I just keep popping off that shoulder pad. I think it's just like how bulky it is. It's so easy to just push it to that little bit of a limit, and it comes off. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and you can see some piston action going on there, which is very cool. Love that. And then after that, we have up and down at the ankles and ankle rocker. So overall, his articulation is absolutely incredible. Honestly, one thing about this design for Cheetor, it really reminds me of Black Panther. It's just the fierceness of the face and everything. I would love to see like a crossover of this design with Black Panther, or someone to take this model kit and put in like Black Panther blacks and purples. I think that'd be really cool. So that's pretty much it for the Cheetor. Very impressive figure. Absolutely adore it. Very fun, very poseable, feels great in hand, looks amazing. Absolutely love it. But that's not all, because we do get add-on pieces for Bumblebee, as you probably would have guessed. So let's bring in our Yolopark AMK Bumblebee right here. And this is probably my favorite figure from the first wave. I don't know, it's really hard for me to pick. I honestly think, giving it some time, I think Bumblebee is my favorite from the first wave. So what are we going to do? We're going to give him some weapons and his face mask. So I do have to say, there is a bit of a quality control issue, because I feel like the face mask is not something that Yolopark originally planned. So they improvised with how you could get the face mask on by removing the scalp. Now the scalp is pretty easy to remove after you've broken it. Because with the top of the head here, there's one peg up there which is very solid and usually holds the scalp on pretty securely. Like, I don't think it's just going to tap itself off. But there were two little pegs, and one broke off getting his scalp on, and one broke off getting the mask on. So unfortunately, both of those pegs, they broke off very easily. I wasn't forcing it or anything. Like, I just tried popping it off and they just broke. So keep that in mind. It doesn't ruin this feature because you can still get the mask on. It still holds on just fine. It still looks really good. Like, I don't think it's just going to tap off. No, it's very secure. And honestly, I have been wanting a Rise of the Beast Bumblebee toy with the mask for a very long time. And that looks amazing. But he does have his cannons as well. So we'll just remove his hands and we'll bring in the cannons. One thing I do like about the hand cannons is that you can actually see the arm guard or the hand guard attached to the cannon. I think it's a really cool detail. The larger part you're going to want facing the front. So we're going to tab them in just like this. I do want to be very careful to not break it even more than I already have. But we'll just press those on. There we go. We don't really need to rotate them, thankfully, because it's, you know, his hand cannons. You don't really need to articulate these. They're just straight on his hands. And with that, don't call it a comeback. This is incredible. Look at him. Oh my gosh. This is definitely how I'm displaying this Bumblebee for sure. I loved the scene where he dropped out of Stratosphere and was just shooting down all of the pods from Unicron, and how he took out Nightbird. Oh, it was so good. He does have the joints that articulate on the mask as well. It doesn't really impact his articulation at all. It's still an amazing figure. I still think he has the best, like, piston system. I love how his knee armor moves. Absolutely love it. Because you can also adjust it after you bend the knee. His feet are just so bulky and nice. So yeah, this just made an already amazing figure even better. And I really appreciate that they included this, because it was definitely a big omission from the first wave, accessories for Optimus and Bumblebee. Optimus Prime will get accessories with Rhinox. I'm pretty sure he's going to get, like, the hand cannons, maybe a sword. I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, this is very nice. I do have to, again, say it is a shame that those pegs broke off, because you can see that is very tiny. That is a very tiny little peg. But it doesn't really impact the quality of this change. Honestly, if I were you, I would just clip them off, man. And if you feel like it's a little bit too loose of a connection, I would just thicken that peg. Like, I seriously think this is better off with those tabs broken, because it makes the switch super quick and fast, instead of something that is, you know, oh, I don't want to break the tabs. They're already broken. I'm not stressing, you know? I think this look looks great. I love the metallic blue paint for the visor. It is so great. All right, so there we go, guys. There is AMK, Yolopark Cheetor, and the Bumblebee add-on that came with him. Do I recommend these? I wonder. I have no idea. So I do want to say, again, I usually say these in all of my Yolopark AMK videos. Oh my god. Cheetor looks so badass. Damn. I do say these in all of my Yolopark AMK reviews. These are non-transforming model kit action figures of characters from Rise of the Beast. If you want transforming Transformers toys from this movie, I've got some great news for you. I don't know if you've heard about these. They're called Studio Series. They exist if you need them to transform. He just totally yeeted his AMK, bro. But yeah, if you need them to transform, I got some great news. There's options. You can have transforming figures. And me personally, not only do I love having the transforming figures, but I also love these that are essentially what Robot Replicas tried to do back in the days of the early Michael Bay movies. These are true robot replicas at a very affordable price. Very affordable. I cannot get over these. I'm very excited for Rhinox, for Mirage especially, for TLK Optimus and Bumblebee movie Soundwave, as well as any others that they do. I think I'm going to end up with a whole shelf just dedicated to Yolopark products one of these days, because I cannot get enough, especially if they keep sending them for review samples. But I even want to get the big model kit Optimus. I want to get the AMK Pro Megatron and Optimus. Like, Yolopark is knocking it out of the park. I'm sorry, I had to say it one more time. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about these down in the comments below. What do you think about the Bumblebee add-on set as well? I think that's really cool that it comes with that. But the Cheetor itself is just so cool. Like I said, this pose just looks so badass. I love this design for Cheetor. I know not everybody does, but for me, it is just It captures the character so well still. Alrighty guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Will you be picking any of these up? And if the answer is yes, there is a link down below as well. I'm not sure if there is a promo code for my channel. If there is, great, here it is. But if not, still, just buy them. I love them. And I would really like to thank Yolopark for sending these my way again. And special shout out to channel members as well. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.